Hi, hello, welcome back to Stone and Grace. If you're new here, my name is Bristol, and I'm so glad that you're going to spend the day with us. We are headed to Florence, South Carolina for the day. We're actually going to take my kiddos to Chuck E. Cheese. That is the closest Chuck E. Cheese to us, other than the one in Fayetteville. But the thrift stores there aren't always the best for me, so we're going to hit up a few in Florence. And as always, I'm going to take you along to see what we find. Our first stop was at the Mission Mart House of Hope, and they had the cleanest store with the largest layout that I have probably been into. They had a great selection of artwork here right by the books. I liked how some of their items that they had, such as their creamer dishes and sugar sets, even their cups and saucers or dinnerware plates and fine china, they were priced as pairs or wrapped as a set. These glasses, of course, were very cottagecore to me. I love the little fence with the flowering there, but I didn't pick them up just because anytime I find glasses like that, they always have the paint chipping off. I also like this needlepoint work here. It was to a sister from her brother. And of course, hearts are the holy grail right now. The inside need a little bit of cleaning up, but if the pull wasn't broke up top for the drawer, I probably would have picked it up. However, I did pick up this heart-shaped hook, and it had the roosters in the center of it, as well as this crane made in Japan soap dish. They did have quite a selection of furniture. However, some of their pieces were just priced a little out of range for my opinion, and I thought maybe these were some type of granite coasters, but they actually felt like felt. So they kind of reminded me of maybe something that come off of a piece of furniture on the bottom. I'm not exactly sure. Now up here at the front is where they have all of their higher end pieces, in my opinions, what they value to be more collectible. So they had some crystal up here. They had I can't read my tag now, but as I'm doing my voiceover, but I can't remember what type of stone this is, but I thought it was very unique. It did seem to be a candle holder. Here's my cart overall. I picked up those pieces in the bottom as personal pieces. Our next stop was at Goodwill, and it did not disappoint, let me tell you. I always have to check with the coffee mugs and saucers first. I really like these, but I just wasn't sure exactly how well they would do over. I like the frosted glass, but you know, some people, if there's not a saucer to go with them, they don't want to purchase them, so I just kind of left them behind for somebody else to find. I did, however, pick up these beautiful Sicko, I believe is the brand or the name of the dishes with the gold rose, and I bought that beautiful brown transferware mug, as well as these crystal votive candle holders. I would have picked up this brass school bus for the pictures throughout the years of school. However, it had somebody's name engraved on the bottom of it. It had Sydney written on it. So if there was a Sydney in Florence, that would have been perfect buy. I like these candle holders as well. At least that's what I thought they were. Maybe for like a round base candle up top. But I just didn't vibe with them, so I didn't pick them up. And here at this Goodwill, they also wrapped a lot of their items together. As you've seen, like a set of Corningware bowls, this piece right here. They had these little house villages. They were all wrapped up together. And that's something that I'm not seeing. Back home, our Goodwill used to do that, but not as often anymore. And I just think that's really nice of those who are working that do that, because a lot of times whenever the items are not wrapped, you always end up with something that's chipped or nicked because the two pieces kind of bang around together. And even if something is wrapped, not like that saran wrap type stuff, but if it's just taped together, insert right here. I really thought that was a weird and quirky, unique piece. But anyway, back to the wrapping. If something is just clear taped, then I will do my best to try to open it, especially if it's glass and it has like a rim around it or something, kind of like a cloche on a base, just because sometimes the bottom of those can be nicked or cracked, and I just want to make sure I'm buying a quality product to bring it to you all. And y'all, I could not believe it. I made my way to the end of the aisle, and this beautiful hand-carved wooden duck was sitting there waiting for me to just grab it. And if you watched my previous video from Southport, then you would know that I left behind a ceramic duck because it was $25 and I only paid $22, or I only sold mine for $22. So when I found that, I was thrilled. And as I walked out, I doubled back around to the dishes, and I seen these 3 nesting bowls here, but it looked like somebody had put them in the dishwasher, and my heart dropped because I thought I found a really good deal, but you know, it happens. Here's my cart overall. We went to the Habitat Restore next, and honestly, I walked out of here empty-handed. They had maybe some pretty pieces like this vase here, and this little creamer, but it didn't have its matching sugar dish, so I just left it behind. Their shelves were really empty. Now this was probably later in the afternoon. It was around lunchtime, if not 1 o'clock, so early afternoon. But you know, usually at some of these places, if you're not there right when they open, then you don't really get a great deal or find the new items that are put out. I also stopped into PD Thrift, and I wanted to include this in the video just as maybe a spot for you to keep an eye on and check out when you're in the area. But again, I walked out of here with nothing in hand. They had a lot of shelves up front that they had right here that they maybe felt like was worth a lot of money, or their specialty items in their opinion. And in the middle, they had fine china sets. They were priced as a set, which I thought that was nice, that you didn't have to purchase each item individually. And in the back, I'll show you in a little bit, they have a large floor space back there with books and toys and furniture and pictures. But again, I walked out of here with nothing. As we left Chuck E. Cheese and headed home, we stopped at one more Goodwill in Florence, so it was kind of getting later in the day. And sometimes Goodwills will put out new inventory right before closing, just to get a head start on the day, on the next day, as far as putting inventory on the shelves. But this one seemed to have a lot of inventory that was still there, maybe throughout the day, because they were actually clearing off shelves, maybe making room for new inventory. I'm not exactly sure, but there was a gentleman in there who was working on clearing off the shelf. So maybe if you went the next day, you saw something new. But anywho, I thought they had a large picture and gallery and art section here. I know back home, my Goodwill that I go to a lot, it's usually very slim pickings, unless you're at the one in Conway. They usually have more art than the one in Longs, but I really like this, I've lost my word, this globe, and the base was wobbly, so I left it behind. I did pick up this mahogany wood leaf here. I thought that would be beautiful cleaned up on maybe your coffee table during the fall. And I know that I said I wasn't buying fall and Christmas, but my husband reminded me that wood is an exception. And I like this picture. It was by Avon, but there was a big crack down the inside of it, so I left it behind. I thought this box would be cute as a little recipe card holder box. Some people might not do that anymore, but I like to keep keepsakes as far as recipes that my grandmother bought or wrote down, and just like my mother-in-law as well. And I picked up this cheese cloche. It had a marble base, and the cloche itself was in great condition. This little Ray Dunn hop egg was just adorable, and I couldn't leave it behind. It was only $1, and America is turning 250 years old, so they had some beautiful plates. And I didn't pick up this one, but I did grab this one, and it will be in my Memorial through Labor Day display in the booth, so I hope that you'll come by and check it out. They also had some original artwork that had been painted, and I have a few beachy nautical items in my booth now, but they're just not selling, and I think maybe that might be the area that my booth is in. I'm more inland than I am on the coast, but here's a picture of everything I got at this Goodwill. Yesterday we went to Florence. I found a few great pieces that I can't wait to share with you all. I think I'll do a haul in this video. I still have some videos to edit and get out to you, but I think in this video I might include the haul. But today we are in Surfside. We are at the Goodwill on Lanola Drive, and I have a few more stops planned, but of course I'll show you everything. But I am here and it is 9:42. Now, I am not typically the person that waits for Goodwill to open up, but last night when we were on the way home, I found a marketplace find, and I sent it to my husband. And being the most gracious and loving husband he is, who doesn't only support my vintage and antique booth that we have together, but he also supports my habits and addictions and collections. So he reached out to this sweet lady that I met this morning, and I am so excited because I was able to find a dream find in color and everything, because I have a hutch that I'm working on and I will show you soon, but it's going to have anything related to butter pats, butter molds, butter churns, wheat, bread, butter, anything of that nature. And I picked up this gorgeous Birkin this morning. Look at that color. Now, she does have a little bit of damage, but that's okay. I don't care. She is beautiful. And she has the lid. Most Birkins that you find do not have the lid, and I am in awe. And he is just the most supportive and loving husband. I couldn't ask for any better. So I love you, honey, and I appreciate you so much for doing this, and for adding to my collection and being the wonderful person that you are. Now, let's go thrifting. We are headed into the Goodwill here at Surfside. Right off the bat, I spotted this beautiful wooden piece. If you had the wash basin and pitcher to go in it, it would have been perfect for your collection. It was only $12. I also like this handmade pottery vase. It was $4, but I didn't pick it up because of that nick there. Sunflowers are my favorite flower. This little trivet, It was made in Japan. You could tell it was old, but I left it behind just because of the wear on the tile. Now, I did pick this item up. I thought it would be great for a cookbook or maybe an iPad charging station in your kitchen. The shelves here are always packed. I have only been 3 times to this location, but each time I go, the shelves are full and you just have to kind of rummage through. It wasn't a fill a cart kind of day, but we did pick up a few great items. Now we are headed further down to Pawleys Island area to the Goodwill boutique. Now, I have never been here and I've always wanted to go. I thought these little glasses here were beautiful with the detailing there. They were $2 a piece. I thought this glass compote dish here was very pretty and elegant with the clear glass and the black. It was $20, so whenever you come to the Goodwill boutique, expect the prices to be a little bit higher, but the items are going to be in nicer quality, if that makes sense. I did pick up these plate wall racks. There were 2 of them. I just like the iron detail of them, and they came from a florist here in Pawleys Island. The swans here were beautiful. I thought this cake plate was gorgeous and would be a beautiful statement piece for like a summer garden party. Here is your wash basin and pitcher to go with your stand back at Goodwill. These were marked $15 a piece. I also thought that these lamps were beautiful, but again, they were $200 a piece. And in the store, you will notice that their little tables are curated by colors. So they have all the reds and blacks together. They have a display of blues, a display of yellows, purples, and so on. It's kind of neat to see how they put these items together. It doesn't matter if they flow or as far as go together purpose-wise, or just if they look very pretty. This piece looked like somebody had took a cheese box or maybe a hat box and bedazzled it with the ribbon and just the details that they put on it, and it looked like they had hand painted the top of it. I thought it was very pretty, but I didn't really have a use for it. I also like this silver plated swan dish here, and it was, I believe the tag was at $35. I picked up this coaster holder because you can never have enough, and this image, it was a beautiful print, but they wanted $50 for it. Hi, hello. I wanted to share with you some of the finds that I picked up from our last thrifting trip in Florence, South Carolina. And we went with a purpose to take our kiddos to Chuck E. Cheese. But of course, whenever we're always in an area that's not local, we have to go thrifting and see what they have. But that next day, I also went to Surfside, Pawleys Island, in between there to pick up a firkin. And because I was there, I went to the Goodwill and the Goodwill boutique. Now, I've never been to the Goodwill boutique. I have been to the Surfside Goodwill twice. So this last time was my 3rd time. And honestly, I didn't get a whole lot. But I wanted to show you what I did pick up. So because I only got 2 items at the Goodwill boutique, we're going to start there first. So we're going to go backward. At the Goodwill boutique, I picked up a coaster holder. It's got this, it looks like somebody actually painted it white, but that's okay. It's that shabby chic. It really, it kind of goes with everything farmhouse, shabby chic. even blue and white. My living room is done in blue and white chinoiserie. So, I mean, everybody, it could really go with anything. It could go in your kitchen. You could put like your little hand soap dispenser in there with it. So it doesn't have to necessarily be for coasters. The back of it is cardboard, but I don't know if you could tell. It does look like somebody painted on that, but that's okay. It's fine. So I'm not sure if I will keep this or if it will go in the booth, but it was fairly inexpensive for it to be at the boutique. I think it was like $1.99, $2. So, you know, it was a great little piece to add texture and dimension to a coffee table or wherever you decide to put it. These next pieces, actually, they are wall plant holders, but I mean plate racks, but I thought that you could probably use them as a wall plant holders too as well. They come from Community Florist and Pawleys Island. They are this iron piece. It's got like the little vine here with a little hanger, and at the bottom it's got the little bird and the detail. Now you could put a plate in here, but I think that, I mean, it is very wide, so you could probably do like a decorative bowl, or you could get those what are they called? They're like the baskets that have the lining in it. I think that would probably be pretty with like some ivy that's trailing up it. So I'm trying, there you go. It's a little bit better to see. But they had 2 of them. So I picked both of them up, and they still have the tags on it where they come from the florist. So I thought that was a great find. They were $6 a piece. Let's see, I'm trying to get better, being I didn't show the prices. I'm trying to get better at letting you know what I paid for them. And I hope that doesn't offend some people whenever they go into the booth. I don't try to upmark, you know, 3 to 4 times the price of what I paid. I still want you to be able to get a good deal while I make a little bit of money as well. So I appreciate all of those who understand, and if it offends you, then I am sorry. Now we are going to the Goodwill and I apologize for the glare, but it's really the only, in the afternoons, my best light is coming in from behind my house. So I'm in my dining room, and therefore I have sliding glass doors, and that brings in the best light in the evenings. But we're at the Goodwill in Surfside now. I picked up some picture frames. Now these are personal pieces. This is an older one. It is that porcelain type. It says I love Grandpa. This is for my father-in-law. I'm going to put a picture of my grandkids in it and give it to him. His birthday is coming up. And I'm also trying to pick up fancier frames to replace some of the ones that I have in my home. I really like this one with the gold motif. And this is kind of like a suede material. It does have a little stain there, but I think that I can get that out. It's got the velvet backing on it. And it's Decor, maybe? Decor. Anyway, only paid 95 cents for it. And I picked up these as well. I think these are originally from Belk. And I think that these were $2 a piece, but I like the detail on them. They had the flowers and floral design. So I think I'm going to clean them up and I'm going to rub and buff them. But they were originally $14, and then I paid $2 a piece for them. So I got 2 of those. And because my living room is blue and white, I picked up this sweet little picture frame. I paid 95 cents for it. And I don't know if you can tell, but it has like the little kids, the little boy climbing the tree. And where was the little girl? The little girl was down there with the baby chicks. So I thought that would be perfect to go in my living room. And I picked up this galvanized piece. And it has to be cleaned. It probably come from Hobby Lobby, but it's got the stand on the back of it, so you could use it as like to hold your cookbook in your kitchen, or maybe your iPad if you're charging it as a charging station, or a notebook with some magnets on it. You know, I just thought it was very,
universal, that people could use it for all different ideas, whatever they might have in their home, and that would probably fit. More of a farmhouse but modern home. But I know cookbook holders and book holders in general are just hard to come by, so I thought for the cost of it and the price, so even though it was that look, I still picked it up because I thought it would probably be universal for a lot of people's homes. Not everybody decorates in vintage or antiques or primitives, but I still thought it would be a great piece that, you know, could be universal to be used. And the last thing I picked up there was a little chair. I'm not sure if somebody had it in their booth already because it had like a little twine on it, but it looked to be in great condition. I think this would be beautiful as a plant stand, or in the corner of like your sunroom or even living room or something like that, with maybe a crock with a plant in it or whatever you would like to do with it. It was inexpensive. The girl, it didn't have a price on it, so she just charged me, I think, $3 for it or something like that. So it is wood, and there was no missing pieces as far as like the spindles of the chairs. The legs were in good shape. It was sturdy. So there's a lot that you could do with it. Now we are in Florence. We went to a Goodwill area called Thrift, which you've seen in the video. I didn't see anything in there, but what I did pick up was mainly at Goodwill. We did go to a community thrift store as well, and I included that. So a lot of these pieces you'll see. I just don't remember where I got what. I picked up a rolling pin. It is a newer rolling pin. It's not vintage or older or anything, but this is still really good. People can put mineral oil on them, and it does give it a little bit of a darker color if they want to stick it in a crock. I have a collection that is in a crock. I'll try to insert a picture over here somewhere, that way you can see it styled that way. And I've got some florals coming out for springtime. And I did pick up this cloche with a marble base, so you could put like your cheese in it. But even if you have like a bird's nest with some eggs, this would be really pretty styled on like a buffet for spring. It was $5. Now, I prefer a wooden base over a marble base, but it is true marble. And sometimes I don't want to disassemble anything in the store, but when it comes to glass pieces like this, I will, just because I am so afraid that the cloche will be chipped or cracked, and then I don't want to put anything in the booth that, how can I say this? I don't want to put anything in the booth that might deter somebody from coming back because it's not noted that it has a chip or a crack. Now, if something is in there and it's still vintage, and I think it would still be a really great piece for somebody, I do put as is on the tag. That way I'm letting you know there's something wrong with it. There might be a flea bite, a nick, a scratch, something like that. So I want to be as transparent as I can. That way you know that I'm just honest, that, I'm not making a fortune off of you or anything like that. So I picked this up. This will be going in the booth. Like I said, it is a marble base. It is heavy and it is beautiful. Now, if you remember back when we went thrifting in Southport and Oak Island, I seen at one of the thrift stores, there was a ceramic duck. And my husband told me I should have picked it up. But I let you know that I had just sold one in my booth for $22, and they were asking $25 for it in the thrift store. And I just couldn't bring myself to do that. However, I am glad that I held out and that I waited, because I was able to find this beautiful wooden duck. It has not been repaired. It is beautiful. The detail, you can see, it is all handmade. There is nothing wrong with its beak, even though it does have a couple scratches and scuff marks. It is gorgeous. and it is huge. And there's nothing wrong with it, and I'm so thankful that I was able to pick this beauty up instead of the other one, even though I do kind of wish I would have picked that one up. But I'm gonna clean this one up really good, and it's gonna go in the booth. So I can't wait for somebody to come along and find this one. We're still at Goodwill, so I picked up some milk glass vases. I know milk glass is not as popular as it was once, but these are still beautiful for spring. I'll try to insert a picture of how I decorate with them. Right now, I have them along my living room display with my blue and white. But in my kitchen, I also have small bud vases that are milk glass with pink tulips in them for spring, and I just love them. So I know somebody else will appreciate these as well, and they were a great price at $1 a piece, but I promise it's not going to be very much in the booth, because again, I want everybody to be able to bring home a treasure with them and decorate and style their home as they will like. And there's no cracks, no chips, no indications where they've been dropped or anything like that. They honestly don't ever look like they were used. The inside of them are not dirty at all. So we got those. And also at Goodwill was this brown, it says Sailor's Farewell on the bottom. I can't tell if there was a marking or not. It was 95 cents, because you know all their cups have went up from 59 cents to 95 cents. There, it is marked, but it's not like a hallmark or anything. It is just, it's got England 828 on it. I don't know if you can tell that, but it is a brown transferware, and it has all the crazing, all the yummy goodness. Now, some people don't like the crazing in the glazing or on the glazing, but for me, the more craze it is, the better. I just love it. Now, there is no chips or nicks or anything like that around the rim or the handle, other than it being crazed and just yummy goodness. It's in great condition. I also found these plates. They are not stamped anything on the back, but they have this beautiful gold inlay of these roses, and I just thought those were beautiful. I picked up 2 of them. They do have to be cleaned. I don't think this is crazing. I think it just has to be cleaned, because I can't tell where it's actually in the plate itself. It looks just superficial on the surface. So I picked up those 2 plates. And the last 2 things that I got at Goodwill were, I'm pretty sure, no, I got 2 more things, I think. I'll show you. But were these crystal votive vases. Crystal is coming back in style. You just put your little votive candle in there. These will be perfect for a buffet with your votive candle sitting on each side, or even your tablescape on your dining room table or coffee table, whatever. However you prefer to decorate with them. I have said that I am not picking up any seasonal decor, but to me, wood pieces do not count. I picked up this tray, this leaf tray. It would be pretty as a catch-all in the fall on your entryway table, or as a centerpiece, however you wanted to do it. It is mahogany wood. So for that reason, I'm going to clean it up. I'm going to oil it good. I'm going to save it until the fall. But I just had to get it because my husband picked it out. He liked it. I had picked it up. But then again, because it was a leaf for fall, I was thinking I would have to leave it behind just because I don't have the storage space. But he reminded me wood pieces do not count. So we grabbed that. Also picked up this Americana plate. It is the museum collection, and because America is turning 250 years old this year, I think this would just be perfect displayed in somebody's decor if they decorate from Memorial Day to Labor Day, or if you only do 4th of July. I think this would just be very pretty. There is the image itself is not scratched. There's not any chips along the rim. So I thought that was a perfect piece for somebody. Now, I don't know if you have those evergreen mats that you can purchase. Like you purchase the base and then throughout the season you purchase the inlay. Well, I don't know if you purchase them from a greenhouse or a nursery or anywhere like that, but they are, or a home decor store, they are expensive. So whenever I found this one that were spring, it was only well, you know, it doesn't have a Goodwill sticker on it, but it has $5.99 on it. So I don't remember exactly what they charged me for it, but there is no Goodwill sticker on it. But I just thought it would be very pretty, because if you watched a previous video of mine, I did make a vintage inspired wreath using Hobby Lobby and Dollar Tree items. So I think I'm just going to put that down there on my front step because I do have that insert. Now, this next piece was the last piece that I found at Goodwill. It is a calendar holder. Now, if you see these in the thrift store, you know that they can be quite expensive, but it seems to be in really good condition. Somebody even donated their Thomas Kincaid calendar with it, so it does need a new calendar. But even the back of it was in great shape. Like I said, sometimes down here at the bottom, it can have water damage, but otherwise it was in really good condition. I'm not quite sure if this is going to go in the booth or not. This is kind of my style for my kitchen. It is very vintage and grandma core, cottage core-ish. So, and I have a lot of pieces in my home in general, but especially in my kitchen, that my grandmother made and built. And this would just be perfect with that, because even though it doesn't have the heart like her furniture did that I have, I know that is all the rage. And if she was here now, she would think that I was crazy whenever I told her that, Nana, people are paying hundreds of dollars for pieces of furniture with hearts. So the first stop of the day was at the community thrift, but the last store in the hall, I'm pretty sure it's called Community Thrift. I put it in the beginning of the video. You've seen it. But I picked up these dishes. They are by Fitz and Floyd, and they are marked on the bottom. They are beautiful. That peach color just reminds me of summer and spring. I got 2 of them. So I think that would be pretty for somebody's display, maybe in their hutch, or even to use, because they look brand new. They don't look like they had been used at all. They were beautiful. There's no chips or anything along the edges of them, and I adore that color, especially for now, for spring going into summer. I thought it would be very pretty. I also picked up, trying to place everything strategically so it does not fall off my dining room table, but I also picked up this beautiful ornate, it's made in Japan. It has this stamp on the bottom, but it's like a soap dish, and I'm not exactly sure if you would call these cranes. I haven't done any research on it, but I liked it. I thought it was beautiful, and I'm sure somebody else would as well. But if you know the bird that's on there, let me know, but I assume it's some type of crane. Also got this. It is very heavy, but it's made in China, so it's a newer piece. But it is they kind of look like hearts, but they have roosters in them, and they are just like a little peg holder. I could just picture this in somebody's kitchen. It does have the little hangers on the back. I picture in somebody's kitchen though, like their aprons on it maybe. I think that would be really cute. And then the last item I picked up was this needlework picture. It is older, and it is signed on the back. The date is 1995. So it says to Dolly from Jack. Made by Elaine. I can't make out that last name, but it looks like it is Twill, perhaps. But it is dated. I don't know if you can tell that. See 1995 up there, and to and from. And here is the who there's such a glare there, I apologize, but it is signed on the back and it's very pretty. It just has to be cleaned up. But it says, we shared many secrets, the same mom and dad. We shared lots of good times, don't think of the bad. Our memories we'll cherish with love without end. I'm glad you're my sister. I'm glad you're my friend. So Jack and Dolly were apparently siblings, brother and sister. I hope that you enjoyed watching the video and thrifting along with us while we were gone for the day. And I hope that you enjoyed this haul. I don't always get to do a haul just because it's usually in the afternoons or on the weekends whenever I have time to video, and a lot of times my kids are running around or my husband's here at home, and whenever they're here, even though I am on my phone replying to you all and commenting and associating myself with you and getting to know each and every one of you, I try to limit that as much as possible just to be able to spend time with them, because I do work full time, and whenever I'm home with them, you know, I only have from the time that I get home to the time they go to bed with them during the week. But I hope that you enjoyed it, and I have plenty of video ideas coming to you all. It's just having the time to video them, edit them, and get them uploaded for you all. But I promise you, new videos are coming, and I can't thank you enough for all your support. I appreciate each and every one of you. It means the world to me, and every comment that I read is just so kind and so supportive and encouraging, and I love reading what you all have to say. So please continue to comment. If you have not already subscribed, I hope that you will. I hope that you like the video. If you're able to share the video, I would appreciate it, but it's not necessary. Just you being here, watching, commenting, and interacting with me means the world to me. And I've said it before, but there are no words. Just thank you. I appreciate you all so much. And until next time, friends, happy thrifting.